Society is so wasteful. I feel that there's a real lack of respect for our food chain, what it takes to actually produce food. Hey guys, it's Katie Kate on the Homestead. I am taking a break from the other side of the property where I have been working for the past week. Today I'm out in the garden and I want to talk about food security, food insecurity, and why my garden has been so humbling this year. I'll give you a tour around and show you how everything is doing. We're finally getting that heat that we need for everything to really take off. At the end of the day, yesterday, I found myself out here in the garden working on some plants and weeding. So it was where I gravitated to this morning when I got up. My focus today is this side of the property, the garden, and hopefully getting some grass cut. As I've been out working in the garden, I've been thinking about food security and what a luxury it is. Food insecurity is a real thing, especially in these difficult times. I'm old enough that I grew up poor enough in a single home that food insecurity was definitely a thing. We had a set amount of food, we had a set amount of money, and as kids, we knew that. Nowadays, it's different, and my kids are certainly different, admittedly. Society is so wasteful, and food waste is a real issue. I feel that there's a real lack of respect for our food chain, what it takes to actually produce food. My kids know that one of my biggest pet peeves is throwing food away because I've been growing it long enough to know how much work it is to put this on the plate, and having it go to waste is just a sin to me. I think this general lack of respect for food and wasteful attitude in our society is very troubling, especially with an economy like this. People are having a hard time paying their bills and putting food on the table. For those people who don't have access to credit or extra money, it's a real issue. If you've been following my channel, you have seen how hard I've been working out here in the garden this year. From being out here in full mosquito netting because of the bugs, dealing with the weeds, the weather conditions which haven't been really favorable, and all the weeding and the pests I've had, the bugs, watering at twilight or at sundown, being eaten by mosquitoes because it's been so dry and so hot. So it's been a lot of work. And this garden has been the most humbling garden that I've ever grown, and I'll explain why. But for now, even if you don't have a garden this year, maybe this video will inspire you to grow whatever you can, wherever you can. I have not done a full grocery shop in almost a month. From what I have in my pantry and what I'm now harvesting from my garden, we've been eating pretty fresh, and sustainability is my goal, keeping my costs down. And I really haven't spent more than a couple $100s on a few things at the grocery store in the last month. I was thinking about how my kid doesn't experience food insecurity, and when he ran out of peanut butter last night making a sandwich, I said, yeah, go to the pantry. There's 2 more jars in there. So that's something that my kid doesn't have to deal with. And that's because of the measures I've been taking and the attitude that I have had about food security and sustainability. So why has my garden been so humbling this year? It's really simple. At the end of the day, it's nowhere near where I want it to be, and it's still, hands down, the very best garden I've ever grown in my life. This little garden plot that I'm working with on this property is bigger than any garden that I had when I lived in the city. And even in the few years that I've been here, this year I'm producing more food than I have so far. I'm also becoming more diligent with harvesting what I am growing and cooking with it. Let's take a tour of how this Contrary Mary's garden is growing. In the front, I have giant sunflowers and some beautiful corn. The tomatoes have been an afterthought. They are not doing great. Here's a beautiful potato. Marigold. My cannabis plants deserve their own video, so I'll shoot that later. We've got peas. Swiss chard. Cabbage. There's beans and cucumber. So many strawberries, but I think the fruit is done for the year. Lettuce, cilantro, lettuce. We've got squash, kale, sad tomatoes. I knew that I was going to love this Jurassic front garden. I haven't weeded much underneath, and I am just loving this. I think this is definitely the direction to go moving forward with my front garden. Sunflowers and hollyhocks. So the moral of the story is, try to have food security. Buy things when they're on sale. Spend an extra $5 every week just stocking your pantry. Get that peanut butter when it's cheap so you're not running out to buy it when your kid needs a peanut butter sandwich. Grow whatever you can with whatever space you have. Stock up, be prepared. Until next time, happy, healthy living. I'm Katie Kate on the Homestead, and I'll see you later.